How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we've got another automotive news video. Something that literally just came out today. Acura just released a video completely confirming that the new 2023 or a 5th gen Acura Integra that should be set to come out within this next year is in fact going to be a manual. Now, before we actually get into today's video, definitely be sure to like, subscribe down below. Also, if you want to check out my Teespring store, that'll be in the link down in the description below if you want to support the channel monetarily. As a smaller YouTuber myself, any support absolutely helps me out a lot, and I'm very, very appreciative. But now to actually talk about this new Acura Integra, as you can see from this Motor Trend article, the thing does look definitely extremely aggressive and badass for a new Acura. And this is the important part that I really want to talk about right here. You can see the manual shifter, a real, standard 6-speed manual gearbox is going to be offered in this thing. And it was actually just confirmed on Acura's Twitter and YouTube account today. They posted on their YouTube like 10 hours ago. So I'm somewhat early, but at the same time, a little bit late. But I'm going to play this video for you guys, and keep in mind, honestly, I think the symbolism is the coolest thing in this video because it shows every single, Acura shifter from the 1st generation all the way through the 5th, and you'll see how it kind of plays out. So you have the 1st generation there shifting into the 2nd generation of the Integra, then obviously the 3rd, then the 4th, and then of course now we have the 5th on our hands. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That little tiny ass video, that little snippet and teaser of the video have sent Honda and Acura fanboys into an absolute celebration today. I know my one friend who actually has the 10th gen Honda Civic Si that I did a review on the channel back when I almost first started my channel. I think he posted something on his Instagram story because he was super excited. And a lot of these Acura and Honda fans should be very, very excited for this thing. Now, speaking about the actual car itself, these are, of course, pictures of what I guess it should look like. Initially, about a month ago, we did see the initial teaser video for this car where Acura just showed us a glimpse of the front driver's side headlight. But this is apparently what this car is going to be looking like. And obviously, again, like I said, I think it looks great, and the fact that Acura is actually going to be making it a manual, or at least having a manual transmission available, is something awesome. And I think that Honda and Acura in general are actually listening to car enthusiasts, something that obviously the executives over at Nissan did with the Nissan 400Z not too long ago. So this is another cool, interesting fact about this car. All previous Integras have been manual in the past, but this will actually be the first factory 6-speed manual offered in the United States of America. So obviously there was going back to the early 90s or even late 90s, there was the Integra Type Rs that weren't available in the United States. I guess it was because the same politics that were behind the Skyline GTRs and cars like that. But this car definitely is going to be an extremely interesting car, and it was actually already released on the Chinese market as a Honda badge model, which is something that's kind of a little bit interesting as well. And now moving on to this other Motor Trend article, this is actually a little bit more of an in-depth review of this car, and it goes on to talk about the main topics of what they, as in Motor Trends, think this car is going to offer, whether they think it's going to be a 2-door or 4-door, whether it's going to be electrified. And then of course, something that I wanted to talk about, this is apparently going to be the halo car for Acura once it actually goes on and discontinues the NSX. Now, funnily enough, this is actually not going to be a replacement for the Acura ILX, which is currently, again, based off the kind of Honda Civic platform. So the Acura is still going to be selling an ILX as well as the new Integra, which are both, again, based off a Civic platform, which is not very traditional. And a lot of other things about this car are just seeming like it's just not going to be your normal traditional vehicle from Acura. Now, of course, they are talking about having either an electrified or a hybrid version of this car. However, the actual internal combustion engine power plant for this car or the different trim levels of this car has not actually been leaked or verified yet. A lot of people, there's a lot of speculation around it. Me personally, I actually wrote it down. Probably like the top 3 modern Honda / Acura engines that I'd kind of like to see in this car are things like the naturally aspirated K24, which is still used in, I believe, the new CR-Vs and a bunch of other different Honda vehicles. And even something like the 1.5 liter out of the 10th gen SI, the 1.5 liter turbocharged engine out of that car. Again, personally, I drove my friend's 10th gen SI. If you haven't seen me do that review, definitely go check it out. But me personally, I'm not a huge like Acura Integra or Honda Civic fanboy at all. And that 2018 Civic SI definitely changed my mind a little bit. Again, I didn't really care much for them at first, but after driving that car, it just felt really good. And needless to say, I definitely think they're awesome little sporty like hatchback track cars that you can still daily drive. I think they're fantastic. Now, speaking of that, obviously the different version, the 2 liter K20 engine that's actually found in that 10th gen Type R. That's another engine that I guess could possibly work with this new Integra. To be quite honest with you though, there's so many different options on the table for Acura when they eventually go and make the production version of this new Integra, and no one can really guess. Now, as far as a hybrid system is concerned, I could see Acura potentially making like a more high-end trim level of this new Integra and making it like all-wheel drive with an actual rear axle connected to maybe a couple batteries in the back that's powered by like a plug-in hybrid system, where the internal combustion engine is still acting like a front-wheel drive system and there's no real drive shaft to the back. There's just batteries to a rear axle in the back. Surprisingly, a lot of manufacturers have been doing that. Me personally, I actually work for a Volvo dealership, and my buddy who works as a tech, I was watching him drop the basically rear of the car, and it's really interesting because for at least for that like XC60 or XC90, the batteries are actually like connected right to like that center yoke, the rear, and then of course that does spin the rear axle. So that's another possibility for Acura or Honda with this car. And of course, this is going to be a 2023 model year vehicle, and Acura has previously stated that they are going to be adding a performance sedan for the 2023 model year. Now, they could be talking about this car, they could be talking about something else, but they did say it will be available in the Type S trim. So that may mean that this car might only be available in 4 doors, which I know some people definitely might not like. Personally, I would love to see both a 2-door and a 4-door variant of this car. I just feel like the more options, the merrier. And also, a couple other people are saying, oh, you know, since this new Integra is coming out, are we going to be seeing an Integra Type R? Personally, I think there's no chance. I don't think that they're going to badge it as an Integra Type R, especially as Acura has already stated that they're kind of taking on the Type S badge for the near future, and the Type R is kind of reserved for Honda, specifically again the Civic Type R. But yeah, we've seen Acura recently release the NSX Type S, and I just think that this new Integra, the kind of top of the line trim, is going to be offered as the Integra Type S. Now, on the topic of the Type S trim, and kind of going back to the previously stated topic of having a potential all-wheel drive hybrid Integra, this car again should still be very, very affordable and pretty much Acura's entry-level sports car, which is again very orthodox and goes against a lot of traditions. Like normally manufacturers don't have their entry-level sports car as again their halo car. So I think that maybe the base model Integra would be a regular, maybe naturally aspirated front-wheel drive sedan, whereas maybe the Type S is a all-wheel drive plug-in hybrid making 300 plus horsepower, and maybe even the internal combustion engine is turbocharged as well, and they can go like all out on that trim. So now I know that was a lot of information and kind of a condensed down YouTube video, so definitely let me know what you guys think about this new 2023 Acura Integra down in the comments below. Whether you guys are Honda and Acura fans and you're just gonna buy one regardless of what engine is in it because you're just so excited, or you think this car is potentially going to be a bust for Honda and Acura. Also, another topic that I didn't really touch on this video, but let me know what type of impact you think this Integra is actually going to have on both Nissan and Toyota, being that they're two other competitive Japanese manufacturers, and of course Nissan is coming out with their own manual 400Z, and of course Toyota, because don't forget Toyota does offer a 4-cylinder Supra, which is probably going to be right around the same price range, if not a little bit more than this base Integra, and it doesn't come with a stick. So let me know how you think this Integra is going to kind of change up the game in that sense. But anyways, guys, like always, thank you guys for all the support. Definitely be sure again to like and subscribe. Also check out my Teespring if you want to support the channel monetarily. But again, thank you for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.